the guy on YouTube, it's been a couple of weeks, or it's probably been about a month now since I last seen this, like. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some more stuff on the jetter. Mainly pulling this whole front end off again, and I don't have any bloody headlights to replace these ones that's currently in here, which was the plan, but anyhow. We're going to have the front end off and replace air con rack. We got Harry next door at Greystones Automotive to degas my system the other night. Thank you very much, Harry. I owe you. So we've got that to go on, obviously, to let that new intercooler that we put in do its job correctly. And we've got some aluminium to make that boost pipe fit. So you've seen us take the front end of this car off already. I don't think you really want us watch us doing that again. We'll do a little time lapse of us doing the last steps and last bolts to pull the thing off, see if I die from gas or whatever. So that might be fun, but cool. We're gonna crack on. See if I die. Hopefully not. Sapman, we're back. Finished doing all the painting. Front splitter back on just for a little test fit. Paint matches pretty good to be fair. So what we're doing now, we're on with the dreaded boost pipe. The fucking dreaded boost pipe. No room to do anything, so my hands are destroyed and I don't have the patience to talk you through every single step of this because I'm about to take a hammer to the cunt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit you there and talk you through my pain whilst I work. How's that sound? Cool. So the DV pipe is in the way of everything. I don't have constant resistance clamp pliers to get the clamps off properly. So I'm fettling on the fucking barrel on those bastard fucking pliers. I can't get into anything on. Absolute cunt of a job working on anything in front of these engines. Fuck off right now, it's not coming off. So basically what's been happening is the fan blade's been catching on everything because this pipe work is apparently tfsi and there's a little bit more room to play off in that area. Obviously redoing the tfsi. Yes. One down. Honestly. I fucking hate these things. Christ, that's gonna go bang that. You're joking us. I don't know how to work these things, that's why. But I need to get that off, like, I need to get that off. Fuck, like, honest to fucking God, who the fuck was a fucking look at you putting that coat on? Don't make me shit. So close to the stuck in the oil filter housing, stuck on the fans. How the fuck did they physically even get that in? I'm gonna have to fucking undo the dog blow mount just to pull the fucking boost pipe out. How retarded is that? What the fuck on this is like. So the plan was was hopefully I didn't have to remake this boost pipe again, which I've got the materials to do, and I might actually rather do anyway because this one is that far from fitting. I think it'd be better to just start fresh, but I'm going to have to put a relief in the new one anyway, and I've not relieved anything in aluminium yet. So what I'm going to do is pull this one out and put a test relief in it. So that seems to have done the trick. Now earlier on it was catching on this fan, it was hitting on the top of the oil cooler housing, it was just not fitting anywhere, but now we've got clearance everywhere, which is surprising. These fans are free, so what we're going to have to do is take everything back off again, mark it up where it is, and try and get it all back together in this current position. But yeah, fans spinning freely, mint, kind of solved the issue, so I don't really have to make that other boost pipe just now. How the fuck's this going on? Is it worth taking this off to have a look? Yeah, we'll take this off to have a look and double check that it's not fucked, because I have said to nick a decimal tenth just to replace this anyway, but if it doesn't need to be replaced, then it doesn't need to be replaced. Yes. So what this looks like is basically just a blow-off valve. All turbo cars have them, but they always recirculate back into the intake, so you don't get the noise. Eat up, George. Inside of here is the diaphragm, and they are prone to cracking and splitting and basically losing all boost. Show the camera so when I put it back together I remember how it goes in. And all seems to be good with this one from the first glance. No splits, no tears, all Gucci, which is good to see. Saves us 50 odd quid, I guess. I will upgrade it to a Rev G at some point when I do like a service or something like that, but if it's an unneeded bill, it's an unneeded bill. Now ideally, I'd imagine that cable, obviously it runs from the back with the wiring for the N75, probably under this scuttle panel somewhere and be hidden underneath the manifold or the long route. But I've just cable tied it to the current loom for the MAF, and then to the, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? To the fuel rail thing, fuel rail feed maybe, I don't know what it is, or charcoal or whatever, and then just looped it up on the end there. Everything's a much better fit. Now it's touching the fans, now it's touching the oil cooler. Spot on. Let's give her a fire up and see if we can hear some spoolie boy noises. Now I will warn you, it does sound like a bag of shit because it's only got half an exhaust on it. Ready to fucking go, boy. Let's give her a test clip. I don't know if it'll make it noise because the turbo's been unplugged the whole time I've had it running. it's a successful evening. So then, I need a new saying. I say so then way too much. You don't realise how much you say certain things until you edit YouTube videos of yourself doing nothing but talk shit. So that's something that we need to do. Now then, so then, how then, now then, hinny. So, what is on the cards today, Mr. Lawson, you might be asking? Well, we're going to tackle something that I have been kind of scared to do since I started working here. I've done a little bit of it, and I mean a little bit of it. I've done some repairs, but today we're going to be doing a little bit of titanium welding. And I feel like my TIG has come a long way since in the time that I've been working here. And I'm starting to feel a bit more confident buying the torch, so we're going to give it a go with some titanium. Now, here's the stuff here. Some dull looking, really expensive tubing. And now I'm not recommending, I'm not telling people at all during this video that you should use this stuff. Full stop, to be quite honest with you, because ultimately titanium was never intended on being an exhaust material. And it's shite. It's a shite exhaust material, but it's lightweight, and that's it, and it looks cool. So like for applications underneath the bonnet, intake pipes, boost pipes, doesn't weigh much, isn't getting a lot of heat into it, great application for it. But as an exhaust material specifically, titanium is whack. So basically the good old titanium is brilliant for people who can afford to replace it on a regular basis. Now, where I am putting this means that I am not going to run into many issues with it. With it being right at the back of the car, I'm only going to make the back section out of this. So the back box, the join from over the axle to the back box, I've got a titanium box that's already prefabricated, and the tips. So for this first shoot that I'm going to do, I am going to just put a single exit 3-inch titanium tip on it. And down the line, I'm going to buy some more tubing and make a nice, lovely merge for it and do a dual exit 3-inch tip setup on it. But for now, for ease of use, because it's in for mapping next week and I need to have it done for then and working, tested and working for then, we're just going to go with a single exit for now, and hopefully we'll see what it does. Now, I haven't recorded the majority of the fabrication process on the exhaust system because, well, we'll go and show you. We'll go and show you instead of me standing here and just telling you. So, most exhaust systems that you will find on the internet come pre-made with really tight radius bends, which is good. They fit, they work, cool. But in terms of maximizing performance, you want nice, really long radius bends like this. Now, when you've got a tight radius bend, you're basically forcing all that gas flow through a really tight bend, obviously, and it is slowing the velocity of the gas traveling through that pipe. So, what I've done is I've used our mandrel bender, hiding over in the corner over there, which has a really, really slack radius, which is something like a couple of 100 mil. So that I can try and make this transitions through the system as smoothly as possible. Now, with the jetters, unlike the Golfs and stuff, the exhausts on the Golfs come into a center resonator here through this little gap in the thingy and underneath the middle of the rear subframe. Jetters don't work like that. Usually the Golfs had a big transversely mounted back box in here with the tip coming out the side, or like an R32 style tip, or however you want to work it. But the jetters come up over the axle and basically, yeah, squeezing 3-inch up through there. I had to use a pie off of a 1.5D 3-inch bend, which is unfortunate, but it's a very, very small piece, and the radius, I tried to make it as smooth as possible going up over this axle, and it still has enough clearance for the final shoot down to the back box. So I didn't record any of that. I've still got to tack this little piece on just to get us in the area of where we need to be, but we're pretty much there in terms of getting some titanium bent up and making this work somehow. So what we're going to do is, before we start cutting and bending titanium, obviously I've got a 1.2 meter length of tubing in there. So what we're going to do is cut a 1.2 meter length of stainless and incrementally make it out of stainless first, so that I can use all of the titanium effectively and not have any scrap or not have enough. We'll make the jig for this back section out of stainless, and then we'll replicate it in the titanium. Some cool stuff in the workshop at the minute. Nice little Evo 9. So, we've got the box where it wants to be in terms of tip angle and exit. So that's pretty much central within the opening. So that's where the box wants to be sitting. Now, first, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of titanium for the tip length, because basically this is as far back as I can get the box, so that cannot be changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of titanium, get it where I want it to be for tip length, and then the rest will judge how far I need to take the stainless to get it all to work. So if I take what I need for the tip, then everything that I've got left over is essentially for the rear of the section joining to the middle section. So we know what we're putting in at that point. So yeah, 10 inches for the first tip. So let's go and get some tie. Now, this is where things begin to get interessant, because titanium, you can't just drag the MIG over and go, that's where I want it. Tack it quickly, dress the tacks off, take it up, lovely. Can't do that, so I'm going to have to drag the TIG up and somehow get in there to weld hangers and stuff on, which is going to be a cunt, and I can't wait. What we're going to do is, I'm not going to film all this because I will be on forever. It's already 12 o'clock, I came here for about 10. This is how long it takes to film things. It's a fucking nightmare when you're trying to work. So I'm not going to I'm going to leave the camera here, kind of get a little lapse of what's going on in between slotting all the pieces in, because there's way too much to explain, way too much to talk about. I just need to crack on and get the job done. So that's what we're going to do. So hopefully you should see us building a titanium back box section to the hole there. So that is our finished centre to back box section. Centre to back box. So let's pull that centre section on and get that all finally welded in. terms of fucking cramming 3-inch tubing in places where it shouldn't be, this has been a nice system to build actually. And don't get us wrong, I am still not a master of exhaust fabrication. I'm still learning. You know, every day is a school day here at ProTech, like, but I would say that that is a stellar effort from myself, like. Oh, that's mega. Absolutely mega. Right, we get that flange at the front tightened up and that can stay on. Now, it is 4:30 on a Saturday. I'm thinking I might knock it on the head and wait for Christian to come in and we'll tackle it on Monday. I'll get him to hold things where I need to be while I'm tacking. 2-man, it would be so much easier. I'm happy with the progress. It's just a case of bending that pipe up, welding it up, get some hangers on and it's done. So I think I might beg him one night next week to stay back for half an hour and give us a hand tacking it all up and getting that pipe bent. And yeah, it's pretty much done, like. Nice. Yeah, we'll knock it on the head for today, I think. We've got a good bit of progress done. Put all these under trays and stuff back on. We'll need to come back off now while I'm under here and tackle that little last bit with 2 men, 2 pairs of hands. 1 man on the TIG, 1 man holding things square and get it all welded up. I'm so excited to see it. I'm so excited to hear it. It sounds a bit drain pipey at the minute because it's got, obviously it's 3-inch, so it's going to sound a bit drain pipey, but it's got a 3.5-inch down pipe on it, so it's a very burbly noise at the minute. So I'm hoping that back box will take enough of that lower chuff out of it, you know what I mean, and just like perk it up a little bit. Probably won't, because like I say, it's still 3-inch and they're all pass-through style mufflers. There's no baffling, no nothing anyway. So yeah. We'll call it a day like that. I shall see you Monday, probably. Get it finished, get it struck off, ready for mapping. We'll see if it blows up or not. So we'll see you then. Right then, you join us the next day. Me and Christian bashed the little tacky job out this morning. Everything's in place, all the pipes tacked up. Now, with this being on a D-rubber, it is mounted solid, like it isn't moving. So what I'm gonna have to do is unbolt that hanger from the back there so I can drop it out and go from there, see if we can actually pull it off, because I think I might have to trim that bar down a little bit if it gives us any grief on the way out. So fingers crossed I don't snap any tacks, and yeah, let's have a go. This fucking head torch gets fucking hot. Fucking forehead's burning. That'll do it, George. Oh, bosh. Right then. Get that fucker off. Let's get this thing clean. Oh, it's so light. It's so light, it's ridiculous, but how's about that then? Right then. Let's get it cleaned up, final time, get it welded up, and we're gonna first start with a little titanium rear section on, like, I haven't heard it yet, so you'll be hearing it in real time. Bosh, it's a bit scratched up after all the fucking jigging, pulling it off, pulling it on, doing all that sort of stuff, so nerve-wracking times. Little section there, but yeah, getting used to it. Still central-ish. We are. Nice little angle on her. Just missing the bumper. Oh mate, buzzing. Right, let's get it dropped down and get it fired up. Come on! Let's see if this calculation of the resonators works, because the only other things you can go off really to judge noise on these are Edition 30s and S3s. But their systems are like completely different. They come through the middle, they've got a big transversely mounted box, loads of tight radius bends, which on this one, as you've seen, it's all nice, smooth flowing, high flow mandrel bends. And this has got 2 boxes in it, but it's effectively got like 2 resonators in it, because all the other systems that come on the other cars have got chambered back boxes. So it's going to be interesting to see what it sounds like, for sure. Hopefully be quite a unique sound for TFSI. These cars don't sound the greatest, and I'm aware of that. It's not the best sounding car in the world. But let's hope it's taken a bit of the grunt out of it and replaced it with a bit of a, I don't know. We'll see. As soon as I'm talking shit for. Probably the only Jetta in the world with titanium back box on, right? I don't think that's much of a bragger, right? But bottom end, horrible grumpy noise, like the lazy sound of no, obviously the car's still not tuned, so it doesn't run right, so it'll probably sound different again when it's mad. Let it warm up and I'll shut the doors. Going through it, it's going to sound wicked at that. And that's the Jetta nearly done. That's all the mechanical work done anyway. Well, engine power work. She's fucking stinking. So, the car's going to decimal tenths tomorrow. It's going to get mapped next week. Fingers crossed, there's nothing terribly wrong with the engine and we have a really bad day and it survives. I probably shouldn't have said that, but that's one of the realities you've got to face when you're tuning a car of age. But like I've said many a time before during this series, this car's had a really good upbringing. It's been looked after, it's got full VW service history, and I've more than looked after it. So if it does as well, next week we'll have an incredibly fast Jetta that doesn't stop or handle very well. So that gets us on to the next group of videos. But next time you see us, we'll probably go for a little boost. And it's going to be honestly, I've only ever driven this car bone standard. So it's going from stage 0 to stage 3 or whatever you would call it. So it's going to be pretty drastic. It's going to be getting into a different car essentially, because it is literally bone standard the whole time I've had it. It's gonna be fucking jokes, like. It's gonna be fucking jokes. It's gonna be jokes. It's gonna be jokes. It's gonna be dangerous. That's what it's gonna be. Standard brakes, 400 brake, or whatever it's gonna be. Now, just a quick disclaimer. I am not asked about what the car makes. Originally, when I got this car, I thought it needs to have a KO4. It just has to. There's no point in me modifying this car when I can buy a cheap KO4 kit online, rebuild it all myself, cost us fuck all, put the turbo on my spare time, and have it mapped with a new turbo on, because it's like a couple of £100 for someone that can do it with their own hands. You know what I mean? So that's what I've done. So it made a lot more sense to me to go KO4. You get more noise, you get, you know, a difference in exhaust note when you come on boost with the KO4, where the KO3 cars sound flat. These, you know, they liven up a bit when they hit boost, and most importantly the turbo sounds. And I don't know whether the anti-surge core is going to dampen that or it's just going to be there still. I'm pretty sure it only cancels out really like wide open throttle surge, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm not asked about this car making big numbers. It's just a fucking thumbnail thing really, and I'm not really that fussed if it makes anywhere near. You don't need anything more than 350 horse on the open roads, and even if this car does make 400 brake on the rollers, it will very, very rarely see that map, so it's going to be one of those. But yeah, if you want to see this car get its head smashed in the next couple of days, a couple of weeks sort of thing, then drop us a like, drop us a follow, and make sure you subscribe, or that follow, same thing, I don't fucking know. See this thing spitting flames and doing some mad shit. So yeah, we'll leave it there for today, and thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, let us know if there's anything that you would prefer us to do in the videos. Let us know if there's something that you didn't like. Let us know if I'm doing something well. Yeah, we'll call it at that. So we'll catch you all in the next one. I'll see you all later.